Welcome, gamers! Today we're going to check out an old school Western gunslinger called Dead Man's Hand. So this is an old school first-person shooter that was developed by Human Head Studios, and it was published by Atari back in 2004 for both the original Xbox and PC. So today we're going to be taking a look at the original Xbox version. And so here's a lowdown on this game. It's a lot of fun to play. But here's the gist. It's also incredibly glitchy. In fact, some portions of the game, the glitches are just downright aggravating. Especially in one scene where a giant tree pretty much falls on your head, but you don't see it because it's invisible until after you die, which really is just quite annoying. But at the same time, the game is pretty fast-paced, and it feels kind of arcadey, and I have to say I do like that. So as for the name Dead Man's Hand, well, it actually refers to a poker hand that's related to the old Western folk hero, lawman, and gunfighter Wild Bill Hickok, who was murdered while holding a pair of black aces and black eights specifically. So that's where the name comes from. As you can see here, you get to play a hand of poker before the start of each round in the game. And so here now we're actually playing, you can see he just threw, I think, a stick of dynamite at me. Aiming feels kind of problematic. Like I said, it feels real arcadey. You can see it's kind of fast-paced, but the hit detection and aiming is just like a total train wreck. Look at that. I mean, I wasn't even aiming at the guy, and the bullet still hit him. It's just bizarre. But the graphics were kind of cool. But the characters didn't look very detailed. I do like the backgrounds, but the characters themselves just look like puppets. I don't know. They just don't look very realistic. But this was 2004, and we did not have quite the advanced 3D graphics and so forth that we're seeing today with consoles like the Xbox One, the PS4, etc. Still a lot of fun. You can see I got a headshot there. That was cool. You have an assortment of weapons. You can see here I've got my revolving rifle.
You're gonna be pushing
You get to pick between 3 rifles. You saw at the start of the game, 3 rifles, 3 shotguns, and 3 pistols. This is actually my favorite weapon right here. You also do have rapid fire, believe it or not, in this game, by holding the left trigger, which I thought was kind of cool, and you'll see that in just a little bit here. As you can see, we're just kind of out in no man's land here, fighting cowboys. And we're actually going to be battling a boss, I think, after this stage. So it's like cowboys and Indians.
Go, go, go!
There's some glitches. You'll see in just a minute here. Sometimes you'll be aiming right at them, right at your enemies, and it's like your bullets just don't connect. So there's like a lot of unpredictability in here. And the other thing too is it does get kind of confusing to know where to go. You have these kind of large open stages, and you have to figure out where the exit is, and that's usually the end of the level.
I surrender, boy! I surrender! Hey, yo!
And those explosions, you can see that barrel just exploded. Very, very useful to take out enemies. Here's some of those dynamite sticks. And you have Molotovs as well. But they don't feel very effective because it's faster just to pull your trigger than it is to light and throw a stick of dynamite in this game. Still useful if you're battling, say, a larger group of enemies. And so this was the first time I played this game in a few years. The frame rates are not good. You can see that the frames kind of bounce. It actually looks
Hey, where
even
did you learn to
worse, I
shoot like
think,
that?
using the capture card with HDMI. I probably should have stuck with just RGB with component, and I didn't. But yeah, this works, and
Hey,
the frame
have you ever
rates, they're
picked up
just bad
golden
overall.
broken
It's really not even
fingers?
30 frames per second, it doesn't feel like, if you really think about it. So a lot of glitches, but just a lot of action-packed, fast-paced gunslinging action. That guy up here in the sledge. Now you can adjust your aiming. You can adjust the sensitivity, but the problem is it's always either too sensitive or too just like it's like the aiming is just like way
I'm coming
overbearing. I
for
mean,
ya!
it's too fast or too slow. You can never get it just right. So we're at the end of this stage. We're actually not the first stage. That's a different stage. Just simply for the fact it's kind of like a training round, and it was kind of boring. It was very slow moving. You get into these later levels, and it gets more challenging. You have more enemies to battle. Now we're gonna battle a boss, this Indian Flatiron, and I'll show you the rapid fire because I'm just gonna unleash it on this guy. And so you have these little mini
Theon, when I saw you
cutscenes,
last, you were
these
lying in a
animated
pool of
black and
your own
white
blood.
cutscenes.
Apparently, the buzzards found the taste of your flesh not to their liking.
The thought of killing you was more than enough to keep me alive, Flatiron.
I once had a blade to your throat, boy. Thought about killing you while you slept. But it wasn't worth dulling the edge of my knife. I'm surprised to see you kill so many men, Theon. I never
And so
thought
now
you
we're
had the
going into the
stomach for
battle.
killing.
I've had time to work up a hunger for killing the ones that deserve it, Flatiron. And a cold-blooded bastard like you has had it coming for a long time.
Your trail ends now,
Alright,
Tejano!
Flatiron, where are you? There he is. And this is where that rapid fire can be really, really useful.
Can you smell your feet?
He's throwing knives at me, which are pretty easy to dodge, ironically. And it seems like you can
No,
shoot some of them after he throws them, which is also useful. Oh, and I got a shotgun blast on him right at the end. And so there's one stage that's got you actually ride on a horse, and it feels more like a rail shooter. You just go through the scenes, and there's other guys that come out. There's other cowboys on horseback that also start firing at you. It's pretty slow paced in that scene, but you're gonna see it. We're gonna go through it here. And you can see I've unlocked every single stage in this game. I beat the final boss. I mean, I've already beat this game. Get my weapons together. Kansas Jack. So as far as the PC version goes, I can't say much about that one. From what I understand, from what I've seen people state online, is that the PC version had a lot cleaner frame rates. It didn't feel so broken. But the gameplay pretty much mirrored what you
Oh,
saw
look at
here,
that.
just a little bit better graphics and a little less glitchy.
That's far enough.
Nonetheless, I'm actually really glad I held on to a copy of this game. Just, it is fun to play. I think I'm getting kind of burnout on it now just because I played it so much recently, like when I was doing this video. Other than that, I really had not touched it in a couple years. It just sat idle in my
You're in the wrong
collection.
town, stranger.
which it was great to get a capture card again, because now I can record again off my console, something I couldn't do for a while. There's one of those glitches. Look at this guy jumping. You see this? Did you see that? He's just jumping up and down. Look. So there's just weird glitches in this game. Like I said, there's some parts of the game where you literally just die for no apparent reason. Like you're literally getting shot by no one, and you just instantly die with full health, like insta shot. I don't know what it is. You just die instantly. No explanations. And it can just get super tricky to try and survive some of these stages. The ending stages of the game, the last like 4 or 5 stages, are super tough. Even on easy, they are hard. I mean, you're battling like 20, 30 guys at a time coming out at you. They're super aggressive. 2 or 3 shots is not going to take them out like we're doing right now. We're still relatively in the beginning of the game, even though we're on like stage, what, 6 or 7 now? And this is a long game. It's a long game. It takes like probably, I mean, I hope you have nothing to do for the next 16 hours or something.
Hey, look at this guy!
And so interestingly enough, you can climb up on these buildings. You see there's ladders.
This is it.
There's some glitches with that. Oh, he just knocked the ladder over. So I won't be going up that one. Well, go up this one. And so you can run out of ammo in here. It does happen. You can always switch to a different weapon. You also have like a knife, which I don't particularly use because it doesn't seem very effective. What I would like to see with this game is maybe a reboot. That would be cool, something more modern. Maybe bring back the same concept with some really cool 3D graphics. Maybe follow closer to the path of Red Dead, something like that. The graphics feel like they're kind of on par with Red Dead Revolver, more so than Red Dead Redemption, which Red Dead Revolver was like the beginning of the series, and it was on par with the time frame when this game was developed, so the graphics are very similar in some ways. The graphics in here are also pretty much more cheesier for the most part. And we're on to the next stage. Let's see here. We're gonna do this. Pick our guns. Hell for leather. Dead or alive. And the game's kind of slow loading. I mean, it's just, there's a few scenes like that last one, it just loads really, really slow. The poker games,
look at that.
I kind of feel like it's a nuisance. I wish, you know, it's kind of like a lot of times I'll just, you know, just deal the hand just to get out of it. If I wanted to play poker, I could go play with my friends. It just feels like it's kind of, I don't know. But I get that's supposed to be part of the theme of the game, is that dead man's hand, poker hand. We got people throwing stuff over here. So you can see we're on the horse scene now. Like I said, it's kind of slow. He does speed up. The horse does speed up at times. He does pick up speed, then he'll slow down again. Oh, and you get points for shooting objects, too, in this game. That's something else to note. And I'm sure you've seen that already. We shot that bottle back there. And some of the crates and barrels, those give you points as well. Here, I just shot a bottle.
This is the end, amigo.
And there's going to be some cowboys on horseback. Here goes one right here. And so the stages, the graphics are really, I thought, were pretty good for the time. I like the presentation of the game. I mean, it's pretty compelling. It's just that the controls are really glitchy. Like I said, the hit detection, the hit boxes are really bad. It doesn't really matter how you adjust the sensitivity in this game. It's just hard to aim. Some of the later bosses in the game, they get really tough because they are, unlike the last boss you saw, they are constantly surrounded by guards, and so it's trying to get them is can get really, really tough. Look at this guy getting dragged. This horse is, look, they're just dragging him. They're both getting dragged. Oh, got a shot on him. The horse looks kind of fake. The graphics are not really good on that. Oh, he just jumped right over that.
Bring it on, boy.
So we're just like traveling through this giant canyon. I think we're almost at the end of this part. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go.
Can we all just get along?
So this game can get hard, not as hard as games like, say, Dark Watch and some of their later stages. That game got kind of rough. This one's not too bad. You can see they also rate your accuracy throughout each stage, which you get points for. I think we fight a boss in this. Let me see here. Let's try to pick a boss match. Some weapons. Firefight down below. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about as far as the game being kind of like a maze. Is sometimes it gets a little tricky to figure out where to go. It feels like you're going backwards. It's like you're not really heading in the right direction. You can also duck in this game. You can see right here, I'm ducking down. See, this part reminds me of Dark Watch. Because a lot of the game looked just like this. Whoa. With the mine tracks. I have to leave something up there. Okay. Ammo. Just go right underneath there.
I'm coming for you.
Moving card. Just kind of checking things out. There's that cart. We're gonna get on that in just a minute here. Just looking to see if I can get up here. Oh, there we go. Got some dynamite. You can't jump over, so the only way you can go is the rail cart. And of course, you can change the difficulty in here. Like I said, you know, we're still relatively in the beginning of the game with these stages. It does get harder. If you play this on just on normal, you get halfway through and it just gets ridiculous. And the stages with the glitches are the hardest because you have to know where the glitches are, and that's the hard part.
That's far enough, stranger.
Like the part where the tree falls on top of you. You do not see it. These Molotovs, these suck. Seems like it's hard to get an aim with them. You can't throw them very far.
He's coming your way.
But anyways, that is Dead Man's Hand. We're not gonna play through the whole game, I just wanted to show this to people. I'm surprised a lot of people have not heard of this game. It was not super popular on the original Xbox. I did play it right after it first came out, but over the years following, I don't think it sold very well, at least not the Xbox version anyways. But this is definitely a game worth checking out if you still have an original Xbox. I do recommend getting this game. It is a lot of fun to play. Just be aware is that there is some glitches with it. You know, like I said, there's one stage where the tree falls on you, etc., stuff like that, or you just die for no apparent reason. But that's really just a couple bad stages. It's just a little bit of bad programming in those
Oh,
particular
no, you
stages.
don't. Who is this guy?
So I'm gonna go ahead and probably end the video here. I think we're done.
Hey!
Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. And until next time, take care.